Bruce Willis' wife, Emma Heming, reveals hardest decision I have had to make after his dementia diagnosis. And by the way, Bruce Willis' wife, Emma Heming Willis, spoke about husband Bruce Willis and frontotemporal dementia (FTD) diagnosis in a wide-ranging interview with Diane Sawyer. And the author, by the way, activist and mother of two, opened up about the time from the moment she realized something was different with the actor a year ago up until their life now. So what happened next? Emma's book, by the way, The Unexpected Journey, is out of 9 of September and available, by the way, for pre-order now. And Emma Heming Willis is opening up about life with husband Bruce Willis amid his frontotemporal dementia (FTD) diagnosis. And the Willis, by the way, family revealed in March 2022 that Bruce had been diagnosed with aphasia and a language disorder, by the way, that affects the ability to communicate, and was retiring from acting. Emma, 47 years old, then revealed her husband's FTD diagnosis just under a year later. And in an emotional sit-down with Diane Sawyer, by the way, titled Emma and Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis, by the way, The Unexpected Journey, that aired in full on Tuesday, in 26th of August. And this author, by the way, activist and mother of two, went into more of how life has changed since Bruce, 70, by the way, 70, was diagnosed with FTD. And Bruce, by the way, is in really great health overall. And by the way, it's just his brain that is failing him. And Emma, by the way, told this where per ABC News, told that the language is going, and we have learned to adapt. And she says that again. And we have a way of communicating with him, and which is just a different, by the way, and a different way. And she thinks Wells does recognize her, and I know he does. And when we are with him, and he lights up, by the way. And she told this we're 79 years old, and she added that he also still has a noticeable connection with his 5 daughters, by the way. And they share daughters, Mabel 13, and Evelyn 11 years old. Wells also shares daughters, Rumor, Jolene, and Wells, by the way, 37, Scout 37, and Lori Wells, 34. And by the way, Tura Wells will be 31 with ex-wife Demi Mori. And he is holding, by the way, our hands, and you are kissing him, and you are hugging him. And Emma, by the way, said he is reciprocating, and he is into it. And so that's all I need, by the way, and that. And she said, I don't need him to know that I am his wife, and we're married on this day. And this is what it. I don't need, by the way, any of that. I just wanna feel that I have a connection with him, and I do. And Emma, by the way, Emma also explained to Sawyer that the early signs of his condition manifested, by the way, in personality changes. For some who is very talkative and very engaged, he was a little more quiet. And she explained, by the way, and when the family would get together, and he would just melt a little bit, and he became, by the way, indifferent and pulling away from Emma, and he felt a little removed, by the way, a little cold, and not like Bruce Willis, and he is very warm, by the way, and affectionate, to go the complete opposite of that was alarming and scary, sorry. And Emma, by the way, admitted, and I didn't understand what was happening. And I thought, just like, how can I remain in a marriage that doesn't feel like what we had? And she also, by the way, noted that his childhood stutter had reappeared, and at work, and he began missing lines and cues, and sometimes seeming confused. And no one, by the way, knew why once he received the diagnosis, and Emma, by the way, was informed that there was no hope and no cure, and to live there with nothing, just nothing. And with a diagnosis, by the way, I couldn't pronounce. I didn't understand what it was. And she says that, adding, I was so banked, and I just remember hearing it and just not hearing anything else. And it was, by the way, like I was free and feeling as for Bruce Willis' reaction to his diagnosis. And by the way, she told Sawyer, she told that I don't think Bruce ever connected the dots, and she's in pretty quickly, and told their young, by the way, daughters about his diagnosis. I have always been very open with the girls, and I have never wanted them to think he wasn't paying attention to them. And she says that, by the way, it was relief. It was relief. Like, okay, and now we get it. And now we understand truly. And what's happening? She began to isolate their family. And because, by the way, she learned that noise can cause agitation. And as a result, by the way, she stopped hosting play dates and sleepovers at their home for Mabel and Evelyn. I didn't know, by the way, if parents would feel comfortable leaving their kids at our home. And by the way, she explained, I isolate our whole family. And that was by design, and that was a hard time. And Emma also, by the way, had to make another big decision for their daughters, and which she described as one of the hardest decisions I have had to make. And she moved, by the way, her husband to a second and one-story home where you could receive, by the way, around the clock care. And she told Sawyer, by the way, she spent this breakfast and dinner with him every day. Every day, by the way, actually, it shared breakfast and dinner with him every day. During a preview of Emma's conversation with Sawyer that aired earlier Tuesday on Good Morning, by the way, America. Good Morning, America. And she said her family still experiences moments where Bruce Willis, by the way, displays flashes of his charismatic personality. And it's his laugh. It's his laugh, by the way, right? And he has such a hearty laugh. And said Emma, by the way, and sometimes you will see that twinkle in his eye, or that smirk. I just get transported, by the way, and through tears, she added that. And it's just hard to see, because as quickly as those moments appear, then it goes snapping her fingers. And frontotemporal, by the way, dementia, commonly called FTD, is the most common form of dementia for people under the age of 60. And there is no treatment, by the way, or cure. And despite the challenges Bruce Willis, by the way, diagnosis poses, I am grateful. And Emma told that, I am grateful also that my husband is still very much here. And back in May, and Emma told the crowd while speaking at the Women's Alzheimer's Movement Forum in Las Vegas that she feels lost and isolated and scared of learning of her husband FTD. And what I need, by the way, what I needed in that moment at that appointment wasn't just medical information. I needed someone to look me in the eye and say, this feels impossible, right, by the way, right now. And but you will find your footing and you will survive. This and you will grow because of it. And she added that, by the way, Emma's book, The Unexpected Journey, and finding strength and hope and yourself on the caregiving path, is out in 9th of September. And available, by the way, now. Available now, by the way, for pre-order wherever books are sold. And Emma and Bruce Willis, by the way, The Unexpected Journey streams Wednesday in 27th of August on Hulu and Disney. Thank you so much. Have a nice time and a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.